up at the front of the class.
Wow, wow, wow. This issue. It's been the talk of the new school year. The Dunce backpack, with some school administrators taking a strong stance against it being in their schools. To have this discussion, we have on Zoom psychologist Dr. Leakim Simaj, and in studio, medical doctor and recording artist, Dr. Garth Shakapau MacDonald. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning to you both.
Welcome.
Welcome. Dr. Samaj, let me start with you, sir. As a young man going to school, if somebody called me dunce, I probably would have get kicked out of school because I probably would have fight or something like that.
Even though that's true.
But in a serious way, why would I want to have that anywhere on my person that someone might suggest that I'm dunce? Where is this coming from your standpoint?
You know, it is very appropriate that one of the biggest tune on the road now, drift, that signifies our nation. The nation is adrift. No destination, no course. And so the tail is wagging the dog. My understanding of life, you know, my brother and sister, is that, look, home is the first school. Parents are the first teachers. Everything after that is extra lesson. So we're seeing a crisis in parenting, that parents buy, and probably some of the same parent who can't afford the auxiliary fee, who can't afford the books, buy that for their child. There is life and death in the power of the tongue. Words make a big difference. So it is where popular culture is leading Jamaica down from very strange paths. And you see, media houses and marketing people have lost it completely, because guess what? People 50 and over have more spending power than those under 50. But yes, the whole culture is focused on teenagers and teens and 20s. So this would happen. The crisis in parenting and the popular culture is being allowed to make a distinction in terms of, listen, here is what is important. The nation is adrift.
Well, you went where I wanted to go, Dr. Simaj, because, I have differing views on it, because dunce has been such a weaponized word, though, by adults and by school administrators when it comes to children. I mean, last week, I keep bringing this up, Never interviewed a young man, and despite his achievement, having been called dunce by an administrator as a child, he was next to tears. And I thought to myself, is this the DJs or the young people appropriating the term so that it is no longer a term that I feel hurt by, or you can use to hurt me? If you want to call me dunce, that's up to you. Or am I accrediting too much thought to the use of the term?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
Both. Because we use negative things to transform them so we don't feel bad. But the fact that you have masked the feeling, then it won't drive you to be anything other than being dunce. Okay. Listen, my mother told me, that listen, I could be anything, I could do anything. And I literally believed her. I believed her. And it shaped my life. Every single one of us is what we became because teachers saw more in us than we saw in ourselves many times. So you are correct. Teachers have a big part to play in calling children dunce, and that is a dunce class and so on. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Where we are here and now is a situation that we have to fix, because the fact that it has been internalized and retransformed and accepted so it can become something you can put on as a label on yourself. We are adrift.
Yep. Okay. Dr. MacDonald, probably not lost on anyone that we said recording artists, because there's a song out there that's almost telling people this is the way to go. It's a nice tune and everybody love it, and maybe this has something to do with what we're talking about now. What is your take on what the music does for our young people?
What the music does, the music is really an expression of what is taking place usually before it is presented as a song. Artists feed on everything that is around. So the word dunce and persons calling themselves dunce was even before Valiant. We heard Reggae King and his crew with it. It would seem just as what Delia says, persons who are used to being called dunce say, all right, see it, I'm a dunce then. So anything is anything. So it's out of desperation. Just like, you know, maybe years ago when Shabba Ranks, he was maybe being called ugly.
Correct.
So I'm saying, big ugly.
Dirty Shabba Ranks.
Yes. So it no longer becomes offensive, as Dr. Simaj says. It creates this numbness, but it also drives the lack of that motivation to be bright. And we have been, you know, in this constant challenge where especially young men who think it is not cool to be brilliant, to have manners, to open a door for a young lady that is being weak, not being cool. We have where these songs and whatever is happening in the society feeds into this and makes it even worse. So my approach has been, for every time there is this negativity, we counter it with positivity. And it is non-aggressive, but it is just to put the narrative out in the space. So especially for the impressionable minds, it is not, they don't believe there's no, they won't know the right way because it is not presented.
I like this conversation, Dr. Simaj, because it's presenting to me what I don't like is just what seems to just be an attack on them. If you wear the bag, you're not coming to school. It's getting to the root of the issue and trying to find a solution. And the root that I'm hearing from you both is, okay, I am countering it, but in trying to counter it, I am in fact underscoring it. And I am making it worse for myself. And I think that's what the students need to hear. How do we then change this narrative and this kind of thinking?
Again, the word parenting. Jamaica as a parenting crisis. So we start there. But the other thing, this could also be, I love the way that the principal, his name is the uncle, he moderated his post, where he said initially that you can't come into school, but then he moderated and said, no, come in the school, but they'll have a special place for that, for those persons. And then they call the parents to come and deal with the issue.
Yes.
This also tells us that now the whole parenting and now teachers have serious impact on our children. I mean, I can go back to school. I remember the teachers at KC, Isaac Henry. They're always teachers that they go above and beyond the call of duty, and they bring out the best in you by shaping you, by telling you things. But there are parents, there are teachers who take out their frustration on the children. Tell them all kind of things, all kind of negative things, as opposed to drawing them out and so on and moving them upward and forward. So we need to broaden the discussion, because the children are literally the victims of this situation. And too many times, you know, media is also a part of it. Media is an avenue. I remember many years ago, I was on a panel, and Bounty Killer was on the panel with me, and Bounty said, it's going to give me a bad name, you know, the media people, you know, because when I make a big bad tune for the dancehall, it's not me put it on the radio. Is you can't go play it on the radio station and then blame me for what I sing. I sing my big bad tune for the dancehall. You know, so media houses are now trying to compete with sound systems, and they propagate anything you speak to without any admonition. It means you approve of it. And all our media houses have been blasting these songs, you know, from they come out and so on, because we're seeking cheap forward same way. We want to be popular with the young people and so on. But remember, people 50 and over have the most spending power. So that many media houses will have to give an account for how they help to shape the drift that Jamaica is now on. Which of the media houses committed to national development, values and attitude, shaping the kind of nation we want it to be? Just reporting it doesn't change it.
Yeah. Dr. Samaj, I want to talk about the fully bright bag, but before that, as a psychologist, how can this harm our youngsters, even though it seems like they're highlighting the fact that them love the bag and all kind of thing? Can't this hurt these youngsters?
They become numb, and you literally now accept it as a normative. When I was going to school, I was proud to be bright.
Yep.
My competition every year was, where do I come? First, second, or third. I never came less than second in the A stream because we used to stream back them days.
Yep.
And I took it. I felt good about it, and I do whatever I could to make sure I maintain that, because to be bright then was fashionable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A couple of years ago, I was at the university giving a talk at a Christmas dinner, and the way the boys walked in, I had to abandon my talk. I said, gentlemen, you are our next leaders. All the girls had on evening dresses and were ready for the world. The boys came in like thugs, with rag in them back pocket and so on. You come into a formal dinner, so that we have to take a stand. I'm not about being popular and fashionable. I'm about doing the right thing to build a nation and shape a society.
All right, we almost have to go, but I can't go on without Chaka Pound telling me about the counter narrative, which is the fully bright bag.
Yes. All right, so, I've not seen the Dunce bag, so my conclusion, it cannot be as popular as it seems. So I've countered that by making the fully bright bag, and this is a statement of us taking back Jamaica from the direction where it's drifting to. The bag is more than just a bag. It will motivate persons, and it will bring across hope for our population, and that must be there. And, our boys are doing better in all levels. The girls continue to do well. And we need to highlight the brightness that is happening right across the island.
Where we get these?
I went...
Where we get them?
It can be gotten at 1A Union Square, where mass manufacturing now. So by next Monday, persons can have these bags. And I'm setting up the Fully Bright Instagram page that will give more information where persons can locate.
All right.
Thanks to you both. I will end this interview the way Dr. Samaj started it. There's an African proverb that says, the ruin of a nation begins in the homes of its people. I'll end it there. Dr. Samaj, always good to see you, sir. Blessings.
All right, psychologist.
My pleasure.
Psychologist Dr. Lake Samaj, a medical doctor and recording artist Dr. Garth Shakapow MacDonald.
After the break, we look at suicide prevention awareness. Stay with us, please. Soon come.